When it comes to bicycle maintenance and repair, there's a vast range of tools available on the market. Most of them you'd be hard pressed to make yourself. However, there are a certain number it would be rude not to try and make. We'll start with the most intricate one first, the crown race seating tool, made from a piece of 32mm or 1.25" wastewater pipe. Next is a nipple driver, designed to give each of the nipples the same amount of turns when building a wheel. We have a separate video on how to construct this tool. I'll put a link in the description. Next, one of the easiest tools to make, but probably one of the handiest you'll ever have. Amazing that a length of coat hanger bent at both ends can be so useful. Now for the main feature, the chain whip. Now we wouldn't be much of a making channel if we didn't give this one a whirl ourselves. A chain whip is a tool used to hold a cassette in position when changing it. The cassette is the collection of toothed rings on the rear wheel of a bicycle which facilitate different gear ratios. Over a period of time the teeth on the cogs can become worn and ultimately the chain can slip. For our build we'll need a 25mm piece of steel and an old piece of chain. The chain will need splitting into two pieces, one with 10 links and one with 3. There are no hard and fast rules as to how these chain whips should look, but there is a common theme between manufacturers, so we're going to follow the general pattern. I said we're going to follow the general pattern.
Follow me, boys!
In order to split the chain, we need to use a splitting tool. I have a couple. A small one that comes on rides with me, and the Park Tools CT 3.2, which is brilliant and lives in the workshop. I had noticed that some DIY chain whip builds had used small bolts to retain the chain on the steel bar, but like the real manufacturers, we're going to use the chain's own pins, so we need to keep 3 of them. Now that we've got all the component parts, we need to cut the piece of steel down to an appropriate size. To give it a nice feel, we're going to round off the ends and get rid of any of the dangerous burrs that might still be there. Again, in my research I'd noticed some of the brands had sloped profiles on the leading edge of the tool, so we're going to do that as well to give a better leverage angle. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for watching our videos. If you enjoy them, please like and subscribe, as it helps to grow the channel and gives more people the opportunity to watch them. Now that I've determined where the pinhole should be, we're going to centre punch them ready for drilling. The diameter of the pin shows us 3.6mm, so we're going to use a 4mm drill bit just to give us a bit of wiggle room. To cut through the steel easily and to preserve the life of the drill, we're going to use a multi-purpose cutting oil. Now to secure the chains in place. Quite tricky to get the pins in position, but very satisfying when they go through the holes neatly. We have the 3-section chain at the far end of the bar, secured at each end by a pin, and the 10-link chain only secured at one end, closer to the handle. And now to gild the lily. It's not strictly necessary to have a grip handle, but ergonomically it's nice to have one, and having an unrepairable inner tube knocking about, there's no reason not to. We'll make it a bit more supple using some hot water, and then with a bit of a struggle slide it into position. Well, I think you'll agree, that certainly looks like what it ought to. But does it work? You'll have to find out next time.
Please like and subscribe. Let's grow this channel.